Go.
I'm Mary Pura from SteGenTV, and these works here are mine. There's some watercolors and some oils, and these small miniatures, I have done quite a few of those little watercolors. And Jane Nager.
Yeah. I used to teach art at several places, and I never really got into my own work until after my children were out of the house and so forth. But I've kind of changed my style. When I lived in Colorado, Minnesota, Virginia, a few places, and kind of, enjoyed the exposure of that type of thing. And then when I started painting again, I really got into animals, and then once in a while I like people too, but I used to paint people when I was working on my master's a lot. Huge, big things. But these are more recent than 2008 and 2009. These were earlier paintings, those two, and the house and cow maybe. This one is a newer one, and these four here are newer too. I'm going out to MAC a couple of days a week because I really don't have a big studio, and it's great to work out there. And the instructor is wonderful, and he's helping me move a little bit forward. And we decided that it's just fun to paint with all these bright colors. I just love it, so I'm going to keep going with the bright colors and have a mule going now and a rooster, and I don't know what else is coming up, but I love animals, goats especially. I have several goats besides this one, but maybe next time I'll show them. So
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
having
coming,
us.
having us.
Okay, my name is Iris Benson, and all of these paintings here are plein air paintings that I've done recently, probably in the last couple of months. I started painting with a palette knife out at MAC in the summer last year, and I've really grown to like that. And I've been painting since 1995, and I think progressing through going out to MAC. The instructor out there is Jim Wilson, and he's very, very good at pushing you to make you do what you, I guess, have the ability to do. And I also paint little miniature paintings that are mostly in watercolor. And I have a few that are in oil. They're 6x6s. And landscape, I think, is probably my thing. Watercolor flowers, I do those. And I'll be down at Judy's Galleria St. John the end of October for the 4th Friday Art Walk, and Jane will be at Diane Wilson's Center for the Arts that same evening. So
Come in, folks.
everybody come out and see us. Okay?
Yeah, he's a good.
Or my son.
Nobody's ever there but him, it's just, he goes back and forth to work. That's,
What?
yeah.
Gas price.
Yeah.
Doesn't hassle us.
No, we're good. We don't. I see him go in and out occasionally. Yeah, that's all I'll tell you, there's nothing wrong with
That should be more enthused. I'm getting really.
Winter coat, earmuff.
Nobody is, Jane.
It's colder today than yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah,
Matt,
yeah,
we're talking about that yesterday.
they said it was gonna be in the 60s, but it doesn't feel like
I don't
it's
think
60s.
so. I don't think so. Didn't make it.
Like,
Are you filming me? Oh, that's it.
Well, I'm Stephen Kemper. This is my artwork here this weekend. I started in the art, many years ago. I started out in colored pencil. I've been in the oil on canvas for about 12 years now, self-taught. Early in my life, of course, I got to go over to Germany twice, and I got to tour the museums and the castles and stuff, which really gave me an influence there. Some of my portraits, some of my earlier ones, the one on the lady here on the pillow with the blanket, that was one of my earlier pieces of art. The one on the wall here is something I've done within the last year. This is, of course, my wife, Laura. She works locally over at the golf course. Some of the other ones I've done is this one here is Simon. He's our deaf cat. He's quite a character, as most people who own a cat will contest to, and I enjoy doing him. One down here is a friend of ours who has passed away since. It was her name was Sherry. And, various other paintings. A lot of the paintings are some of the little petite chantier singers that sing around town that Patty Nagger's the head of, and I've done a lot of them over the years. I try and do one or maybe two a year of them just for show. About half my business is commissioned portraits. I get commissioned by people whose parents or grandparents have passed away, or for their anniversaries or graduations. As far as influence, I studied a lot on my own. Of course, I'm self-taught, so I studied a lot of the masters and things like that and their techniques. So my paintings are layered in various layers, usually 7 or 8 layers per painting. Locally, I've been influenced. Of course, Al Agnew has been a big influence on me. He's kind of helped me a long time here, and his wife Mary. And I've got to meet with Charles Reinhardt on a couple of occasions. He helped critique some of my art. And one of my figure realism type painters is a man called Steve Hanks, which does some really extraordinary work. So, and that's about it. I'm slowly trying to progress, so if anyone purchases my paintings or that I have in the past, I'm hoping in the future they'll be worth more to them, money-wise, and maybe to pass down through their families. So that's about it.
All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Juanita Rapp Wyman, and I mention the Rapp because I am from here originally, just moving back a couple years ago, and I've been with the Art Guild, I guess, since '99, and but prior to that I was a high school art teacher in DeSoto for 30 years. And now that I've moved back to St. Genevieve, I'm very active in the Guild and some of the other historical things in the area. As far as my paintings, again, being an art teacher, I do a little bit of everything, not a whole lot of anything, but I am focusing on oil painting now. And the ones you see here are the ones I completed this last week during our Plein Air Festival paint-out that was sponsored by the Main Street group this year. If you look at some of the paintings, you may recognize some of them. This is down kind of behind the St. Jim Beauvais Inn, and it was about 6 o'clock when the sun hits down there. It's one of those buildings you probably don't even notice until the sun hits it, and then it's just quite beautiful. I think it's the old Citizen Electric building. I also like to paint St. Genevieve. I like to paint what I know, and growing up here, obviously, I know St. Genevieve, so it makes it easier to paint. This is down on Main Street. This is Lulu's Antiques shop. And again, I like this one because of the light. And I went back again twice just so I could capture the light on the bicycles and on the front door. That was important to me. And a lot of the rest are from near Zell, along Zell Road, because I now live out that way. And I just kind of look out my window every day, and it's an inspiration. This is on Zell Road off a low water bridge. I think this is a Bowman barn, perhaps. It's off of Zell Road. And this is my backyard. It's, again, part of the rural scene in the Zell area. The rural scene. And then these are a few that are from the plein air last year. And again, the bowling barn. I don't seem to ever exhaust of my subject matter when I look out my window. But I do enjoy, I think more than anything, you can see that I like the light. It's very important. I find the extreme lights and shadows. And it's a real challenge to paint these in 2 to 4 hours, as an example, when you're on the spot. It's very different painting on the spot than when you're in your studio. And I do paint studio, but I think I'm starting to prefer this, but it does take practice. It really does. But it's been a really good festival this year. We've had one over the last several years, and they've been good too. And I hope we can continue.